organization to follow this.
I made a profit.
This is up to you getting out in the street, handing out your own flyers, getting behind your own local organization. And I have a really dynamic solution at the site. Furthermore, getting into how to create a local currency that solves the Wall Street problem also. And it creates a long-term system for entrepreneurs, for people looking to earn money right now that are looking for jobs to become activists. I have a really dynamic system with multiple facets all playing a role for one complete system. Creating the local currency that then finances our campaigns. What we do is we get locally owned businesses a free advertising system with a free webpage that I build. It takes me about 20 minutes to build. We get someone to build a YouTube video that might take another half an hour or so. So every merchant gets a page on a site that's a permanent directory for permanent free advertising that allows them to have a place where someone finds the directory through a card that is handed to them. A card is handed to an individual who doesn't know anything about the economy, doesn't know anything about the banksters, doesn't know about the Federal Reserve, doesn't know about the corruption locally. A card is handed to them that gives them a website portal. They go to the website and they start learning about local groups in the area that are fundraising, that will provide them with a tool they can use when they are going around making purchases at local businesses to effortlessly create a donation for that cause. The way we do this is by giving the businesses a permanent asset where they can be participating in a community program, a merchant donation program where they make a small donation of 5% of their purchase after the sale. After the sale of a support of a local cause purchases. It could be activism, it could be a local temple, church, it could be a group feeding the homeless, it could be anything. But of course I think the activism challenging the banks and the legal system should be our top priorities, because when you really break it down, you know, we got to cut the head off the snake.
What's your name again?
Name's actually Nicholas Ricardo Guillermo.
Nicholas Ricardo Guillermo.
Friends call me Nico, and I love this. I've been an activist for so long. It wasn't until a couple years ago, just randomly looking at my name, someone said kept on saying, "Is that name Greek?" I wanted to see where's my name come from. So the Greek origins of my name actually mean powerful protector of the people, and I didn't even know that till years after activism. So I'm like gung-ho. I'm traveling all over the country, hand out flyers, getting this program started. I'm going back to Oakland, though, to really launch this economic renaissance program for the local currency and to help a local activist coffee shop owner who wants to become mayor. We're going to build a coalition, and every one of these Occupy groups, these 99% groups, can do this. And my site will be a kind of a catalyst to allow this to happen, where you get free exposure in a place where you can build a coalition. You got to have a coalition. You get the right people that are going to run for all the positions in city council, just like a political party would in the mayorship, and all. If you have an elected sheriff position, all those people are going to run at the same time, and we're going to get the community knowing about this by getting activists out there for all those people that need jobs right now. I have a program. I trained people in door-to-door fundraising for several years for Clean Water Action, for Clean Air Council, for a group called Florida Consumer Action Network. And it was training people to fundraise for lobbying. If we could train people to fundraise for lobbying, where they're just asking the politicians, please would you help us get this law passed for such and such bill, then we definitely could train door-to-door fundraisers for permanent ballot access, which is an activism that has real teeth, so to speak, where we can really get into the heart of the matter of giving voters direct opportunity to change the solution, change the problem themselves by a majority vote, bypassing the legislature. It's much more powerful than lobbying, so I guarantee you it should be a national organization. I have the LLC incorporated. I'm looking for partnership. I'm looking for people that can help with some of the other aspects of the business. You might even find a typo or two on the site. I'm not perfect. I'm doing this all alone. My girlfriend's helping me out the best she can. But your help can really make a huge difference. And it's not necessarily what you can do, but it's also about who who can also know other people that can play a role in this organization. We must duplicate our efforts. We have 100 people at this event. If everybody just goes out of their way and just does what they can to speak to someone about this, the heart of the matter. You got to know that what's happening. I think one of the best ways to get people convinced is to tell people about our health and our environment again. Because when it boils down to our health, it's something you feel when you're sick, when you have elderly people getting ill from calcium buildup. All the arthritis in Tucson is going through the roof because all the calcium in our water, because they can't get out because they're cutting the budget for the water. And they won't cut the budget if we have a municipal bank or if we don't have Fortune 500 companies sucking the lifeblood out of us. It's not going to happen overnight, but through permanent ballot access, through one election cycle, we can revolutionize our whole system in our municipality. If it happens in one municipality, it can happen around the whole nation, and this will send shockwaves around the globe. Gaddafi in Libya created a document calling for the people to have direct democracy. It's called the Green Book. It's online. I'm actually going to put it on my website soon. Gaddafi is under attack by the UN, not because he's a horrible person bombing civilians. What is the UN doing? They're bombing civilians. Okay, Gaddafi is under attack because he is creating a sovereign monetary system for Africa that is not debt-based. It's one of the only countries that is not in debt to the Rothschilds family banking cartels. And he wanted to create a gold-based system. And that is, really why he's under attack. I mean, that's why people speculate Kennedy was assassinated, Lincoln was assassinated for that. Ron Paul is the only person speaking out about it. He may not be perfect to all the liberal-minded folks out there, but you got to believe that when he talks about state rights and talks about limiting the federal government, the chances of him allowing you to have the ability to make change in your local government are much greater, in fact. And the principle is we need to bypass this partisanship and realize that sometimes the platforms are too broad. If we just focus on the simple core issues that affect our society, which is the monetary system, for starters, and this military-industrial complex, will begin to pave the road to freedom, for sure. I am campaigning in California and inviting people who want to get a job, work with me. We're going to be working on the Jack Herer initiative. There's a label GMO initiative and several other ballot initiatives. I've been doing this for about 6 years. I have a hostel that I actually co-own through a guy he was an ex-lawyer. His name is Jim Rogers. He was the people's lawyer. He's a great guy. He runs this place. It's literally zoned for a hostel. We can rent out spaces in the rooms for next to nothing a month. We have a bunch of rooms available. There's easily 10, 20 people could stay there, and we can definitely find more space. And we have campaigns that will be going on through June, July. If you're out of work and you need a job, get a Greyhound bus ticket. I'll pay you back for your Greyhound bus ticket within the first week of your working. I'll pay you back half of my commissions that I earn until your Greyhound bus ticket is fully paid off. And you can work with me working on initiatives to label GMO foods, to legalize industrial hemp, and many other great initiatives, while promoting the Occupy Party and activism truth. So every person.
This is not a party.
Okay, sorry. The Occupy concept. Yes, we're not. What we will do, what we'll be successful at doing, by being a signature gatherer. Rather than working for our own signature drive at that time, we're going to be the next level activists of the 21st century by handing people out little flyers and cards. They can get all these little business cards printed so cheap. You hand someone this card who doesn't sign, they go to the website, they learn about all the petitions, and they come back the next day and they sign for you the next week. And it will let them know about the concept of permanent ballot access and what the Occupy movement is about. I apologize for not having links to the Occupy website on my site right now. They will be up within 24 hours. Because this is truly part of the revolution that I am part of, and I've been part of this. I've always been an activist working to empower the people. And and I want to create many more of me out there. If you have a desire to do great things, you can succeed. You can learn how to be a better speaker and engage people and educate people about solutions, and you can be a leader. And we must learn to get into the business of training leaders how to lead other leaders to lead, and spread out across the whole nation and the world. Engaging people in their local communities and door-to-door activism is the end-all, because if the internet were shut down by this net neutrality attack that President Obama is pushing on us with the federal commissions on, we can't. I'll tell you what, I was actually campaigning for the 9/11 ballot initiative, Mike Gravel's ballot initiative. You may or may not have heard about it. It's in Massachusetts. They've already gotten all the funding. It's most definitely going to be on the ballot in Massachusetts for 2012 election, calling for a new investigation, because all the people that died on those planes, the realization that the investigation has not been done and that there are so many questions. And just campaigning on Facebook, my virus alerts went through the roof. I started getting attacked by viruses like crazy. They didn't
Facebook is not your friend.
I know. And so that's another reason to join Activism Truth, because I have an independent .ning forum, and it's a place where we can network and network with other Ning forums. and it's a great place that helped me build my site, and I'll help you build your site locally. I build free web pages for all activist groups and play a role in building the local economy and creating permanent ballot access. Let's get it done.
Nice. Nicholas Guillermo, thank you very much for your time and your inspirational statements.
Thank you.